Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the Free-to-Play cast, brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. This is episode 312. We're recording on September 19th. You're watching it on the 20th or later, and I am Mike Byrne, aka magicman, your host, as always. We've got a lot of birthdays. A lot of birthdays that we're going to go over. We've also got some speculation about Anthem, and we've got some surprising news about PlanetSide Arena that just dropped within the last hour or so, and a special award to Daybreak for giving us this information prior to recording the free-to-play cast, rather than it breaking an hour after, as it always does. Joining me to talk about it all, Mr. Jason Winter. How are you, sir?
I have not even read show notes. I have no idea what we're talking about today. What is this? Let's see. Okay, all right. I know all this shit. Whatever.
All right. So you're good and ready to go. Also, let's hope she is Ms. Quinlan Bowers. What's up, Q?
Apparently, Jason and I just traded spots or something, because that's usually me.
Well,
also, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day.
I'm delighted to see that I take the time to make show notes that nobody reads. It's just like our old Game Breaker days, gang. So let's get to it and start off with the news. Biggest news today, PlanetSide Arena has launched into early access. And for those of you that didn't catch the news, you're probably asking why I'm bringing it up. Now, we've speculated that this game, A, should have gone free to play initially when it tried to launch the first time, and opted not to, and then didn't launch and refunded. And then B, would probably launch as free-to-play when it relaunched, but it wasn't looking that way. So then C, we toned our speculations down to how long before the damn thing is free-to-play? Well, the answer is, Jason, apparently right now.
Yeah, I mean, technically we might say it was after launch, if you're talking like in the scale of like a plank time, maybe. 10 to the negative 43 seconds after launch, so...
Yeah, that's very dorky of you.
Yeah, it is. I looked at my old article, by the way. I gave it 8 of 10 chance of being free to play at some point. In fact, what did I say exactly? I said it's going to go the Bless Online route of launching with a box price to get as much front-loaded money as it can before going free to play shortly down the line. Free to play happening 6 months to a year after launch, probably late this year or early next. But that was when it was supposed to launch in March. So
right now,
I was right about that. Late this year, late 2019.
Let's not talk about the game itself yet for just a moment. Let's kind of focus on the whole free-to-play thing first. Obviously, we will be doing a first look. Jason's already dabbled in it. He's going to give us some of his impressions, really, really early impressions in just a minute here. But I drew the short end of the straw, and I'll be doing the Stalker Online first look video. However, I do know that
you are an online stalker.
I do. Yeah, I did. What a terrible name. Like, I know it's off the Stalker franchise, like unofficially and stuff, but still terrible name. I think Zach Sharps might be interested in that game, though, gang. So I will reach out to see if he wants to do a first look, because I saw some comments on Weekly about missing his voice. And it's been a while. The last first look he did was for Lost Ark when it was in Korean beta. So I'll ask him. But no promises. It may be me doing the first look on that one. On the Devil President thing, that one's going to have to wait now, gang.
That one might wait a while.
Yeah, so that one's... We'll talk about that, or we'll do a first look for that next week. So plan on seeing a first look for PlanetSide Arena in the next couple of days, seeing one early to mid next week for Stalker Online, and then after that, we'll do the MOBA one. Jason, maybe you and I can do a dual first look. That way, neither one of us...
Well, we would probably triple the number of players in the game if we did, yeah.
Wait, I'm not sure how that math works. I'm not quite sure how that math works. Anyway, getting back to PlanetSide Arena and it launching as a free-to-play title, we were initially a little concerned on this one. Like, is it just launching into early access as free? We've seen games do that, where betas or early access or free weekends before launch are free, and then launching with the box fee. But from everything we've seen so far, Q, it looks like this is free to play for the duration.
That's the impression I got. I mean, they do still have their their special edition or early access purchases or whatever, but yeah, otherwise than that, it looks, and it would be really, really, really shitty of them to come down the line and be like, oh well, yeah, not anymore. So
yeah, everything on the site is saying free to play, as in a description of the game, not an event. Even on the Steam page, I linked to Jason when we were kind of looking through this, that their answer to the question that I always go to every time somebody sends me a game that's in early access. I go to this question, will the price change after launch? And it says it's going to continue to be free to play. The only thing that's going to change is the packs that are available may become different packs. So it looks like we are in this for the long haul. So one, I think we can all agree that this probably should have happened with the first launch. If you even want to say that the first launch should have happened. I feel like waiting was exactly what they should have done. It launched too early, but it should have been free back then. Is ditching the box fee now the right thing to do, Jason, on this launch?
Absolutely. Like you said, it should have been, and it probably always should still have been, because as we'll get into in a little bit, they claim that they can have up to 300 players in a match at launch. I played a match. It was nowhere near 300 people. Now imagine having to, how few, even fewer would there be if everyone had to pay $20 or whatever to get in?
Right.
Yeah, if you're going to try to have that many people in matches, you need to have it be free to play, unless you're a really big deal and can manage tens of thousands without even trying. But this is not on that level.
Now, in the early access, though, I mean, we've heard the claims that the game can hold 1,000-player battles. In early access, there's only 2 modes available, if I'm not mistaken. One of them being a 300-person battle, or is it 300 v 300? I'm not sure which.
300 total,
300
25 teams of 12.
Right, and then the other one is a 2-team battle.
No, it's 150. It's 50 teams of 3.
Okay, so even then it's still like faction-oriented, kind of with PlanetSide's 3 factions. Okay, so we've got 150 and 300. We'll see what happens when the modes start coming out that boast the 1,000-player battles and things like that. I don't have any reason to, not believe them now. PlanetSide itself, PlanetSide 2, does host an awful lot of people, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now. But we'll see. It doesn't matter if your tech can support this queue. If you don't have that many players queuing up, is today just nobody really expected it to be free to play today? Or is it just this game isn't going to be all that popular?
I mean, that's kind of a good question because we didn't expect it to be free to play. And Jason watches that shit. So he was surprised. He was very surprised. So maybe it's just that. And it is also still, middle of the day. People are at work, at school. Maybe it'll pick up a little later on or as the week goes by or something. But I don't know. I mean, it just seems like a really enormous amount of people that they're trying to make this for. And I don't really see it.
There's one thing we know for sure. Jason will be watching the hell out of Steam charts for the next 4 weeks.
Dude, I have the window open now.
Right. So it's only available on PC right now, and it's through Steam, so we will be able to see those numbers and not have to worry about how many people are playing in a launcher other than Steam. In the future, they are planning, I saw this question asked all over Twitter and all over the FAQs and everything, will there be crossplay on the consoles, things like that. They are planning to do that, but that's a 2020 thing. With the official launch of the PC version being in 2022, 2020 also, I should say. 2020 also. So look for it on consoles next year, and crossplay is something they're hoping to do. But right now, Steam, PC, the only way to get this. As far as monetization, we are seeing an awful lot of our game doesn't do this and it does do this, Jason. So what is their actual plan to make money besides the sales of the Founders Packs right now?
That's an interesting thing, because unless there was something about that in the FAQ, I could not find a way to purchase currency in-game. Now, did you see anything like that? I know you looked over the FAQ as well, but I was in there trying to figure out how to buy currency so I could buy more boxes or whatever if I wanted to do that. And that wasn't an option. Not to mention that the currency, the real money currency, is BC. That's what the icon was for it. Not DC, like Daybreak cash, which you get as a Daybreak customer, which I have, but I have zero BC apparently. So I don't know what that is. That kind of stinks if I'm not going to be able to use my Daybreak cash to buy this stuff. Which, now that you mentioned it, it's weird that it's not on the Daybreak launcher, that it's only on Steam, for one thing. That's another
Well,
thing.
remember, we see Daybreak filing for like 900 different company names over the last year as well.
Did one of the companies have a B as the...
No idea.
Maybe.
Yeah, I just see this different games being funneled away in the future here. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
I mean,
with
I could
Daybreak.
sort of see them not doing this if the free-to-play decision was made very recently. I could see them not having it set up properly to do
Right.
that sort of thing, because although you still think even with a buy-to-play, they would have still had, cash shop currency and whatnot in there as well. But yeah, I don't know about that part, about the monetization. Otherwise, right now, all I'm seeing is the $20 and the $60, or was it $60 or $40 for the other pack?
20, 50, and or
70 if you
both
buy
for
them
70.
both. That's what it is. Okay, yeah.
So, in addition to those, we do know that their plan is to add cosmetics and loot boxes.
Well, it's not the plan. That exists.
Yeah, well, no. I'm talking about to be able to buy them. You may not be able to buy them right now, but that is the plan going forward. The loot boxes themselves are in-game. Yes, you can earn the currency to buy them. They dribble them out as rewards. Reading it, Jason, I know you really just had a few, like one match or so and some menu surfing before we had to go do the cast. Reading everything, it seems very Overwatchy to me. Earn a little bit as you go, buy some more. And get some loot boxes. But there is one big difference if I make that comparison with the actual loot boxes, Jason, and take us through that.
Yeah, so of course in Overwatch, every loot box, all the items you get, they're purely cosmetic and so on and so forth. Now, if you wish to pull up one of my screenshots of one of the mods, that's something else you can get in loot boxes, not the crates, but the mods. I'll try one of the other ones. That is a crate right there, and it shows you how much it was going to cost and everything. There you go. There's a mod. That is the LMG mod. You'll see that you can equip that on my LMG, and it says gain nanites when destroying vehicles.
So now that is an in-game impact of, I don't know how great or how small it would be, but I gain nanites when destroying things, and you got that mod from a loot box.
Yeah, which I earned in-game by doing a little daily quest thing for playing a match. So, and that's a common one. I didn't get into seeing what the uncommons or the rares did. But yeah, there's another one there that was briefly improve reload speed, that sort of thing. So yeah, you can wonder a little bit about that, especially since it depends again on how much these are going to cost and so forth, and how big of an impact they have. I do find it a little disingenuous, though. They stated on their website specifically when they said that these do not increase time to kill. They use bold and capitalized letters to improve that. Which, okay, sure, it doesn't, plus 10% damage to my weapon. Okay, it doesn't do that. They're not going to do that. But it's still an advantage in game.
Okay, and by the whole time to kill thing is a metric that is a little bit dubious to begin with in a lot of cases, but. In this, I mean, you could argue, okay, fine. I still gotta fire 90 bullets into you with this sidearm mod,
sure.
Whatever the damage is, right? I gotta hit you 90 times with this, you damn bullet sponge, to kill you, and my rate of fire hasn't gone up. Okay, so it doesn't increase my time to kill. This doesn't do anything for rate of fire or anything like that. But technically, this briefly does improve my reload speed after I break an enemy shield with this weapon, so although it doesn't relate to me actually firing the weapon, it does decrease the amount of time that it takes me to fire said weapon 90 times by briefly reducing the in-between clip time, the reload time. So...
And if you look at the crate picture, you can see all sorts of other mods that they say that you can get from them. So, the more common and uncommon and rare and so forth. Yeah, so what are those going to do? I didn't bother mousing over them to figure. Some of those are definitely, like you can see, some of them are the cosmetic stuff, like the checkers for medic armor. But yeah, what does rush do? What does medical training do? I'm not sure. Medical training sounds like it would improve your healing capability as a medic, which would decrease the opponent or increase the opponent's time to kill.
Right. So. Yeah. So again. Literally, gang, Jason had like 20 minutes to check this out really quickly to just be able to talk about it on the cast a little bit. So there's still more digging to be done. But Q, I do feel like there are some advantages in there, even if they're really, really minor and, one match or the low duration or briefly increase things. Those are advantages, and enough of them could pile up, right? This is a very careful spot that Daybreak has to take here, because it feels like they're standing right on top of a slippery slope, and there's a banana peel behind them to me.
Isn't that classically Daybreak, though?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But I mean, yeah, that is the thing, right? Like in something competitive, any advantage is still an advantage, even if it's a small one. And yes, if you stack up enough small advantages, you have a pretty sizable advantage. So the ability to just say straight out purchase all your advantages should you want to. I mean, yeah, it's kind of classic Daybreak, I think.
You can't purchase your advantages. You can purchase a chance to get advantages.
Right.
Well, there is that.
Roll those dice,
there is
baby.
That.
Roll those
I mean,
dice.
it feels just a little tingly, a little close to Star Wars Battlefront 2 here is almost where you're getting at, it seems like. I don't know.
It does have that, I mean, not nearly as, from what we're seeing so far in the screens, not nearly as game-breaking or game-enhancing as those drops were, but that's the slippery slope that it looks like. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, we'll have to watch it, and we'll definitely want your feedback on it in the comments as you play through it this weekend. Jason, let's talk about the game itself before we move on. You got one match in. It wasn't a full 300-person. It didn't fill up in time, but how'd it feel? Was it smooth? Was it fun? Give us the lowdown.
So on that first point, though, there's a little tracker that shows how many people are lining up for your match, and I think I were at 57 when it finally kicked off.
So like 1/6 of what the match was supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, 57. It said there were 5 squads as well. So we had a full 12 in ours. I just queued up random, got lumped in with whoever. We had a full squad of 12. So it's there was around 5 full squads of 12. A couple might have had 11 in them, but yeah, it was nowhere near. We got to like 55, 56, and it vacillated a little bit between like 57, 59, kind of back and forth a bit. But yeah, nowhere near 300, nowhere even near 150 if it was, if we were trying to go for that, which I wouldn't have because it was in the 12-man groups. As mentioned, looking at the Steam charts right now, it's at around 1,500, which again, like you said, it's early in the day, just kind of a surprise announcement, so maybe that'll still go up. So once you get into the game itself, yeah, you do go around and you do PlanetSide 2 kind of stuff. You're going around PlanetSide 2 / Battle Royale kind of stuff, because you're going around, you're going to find stuff that you can pick up, various nanites, which I guess are kind of currency you can use to spend at terminals to gain things. You also find various mods lying around, various armor was another thing that I got as well, so I could up my hit points a bit. There are 3 different classes: medic, engineer, and assault, all with a few different special abilities and weapons. And you go around and basically, as far as I can tell, it is pretty much basically just a kill thing. There's no control points or anything like that. Just go around, be the last team standing. You can res your allies at various little res spots. I think it costs a bunch of nanites to do that. And it felt pretty good. Like in terms of the gameplay, in terms of the gunplay, I haven't played PlanetSide 2 in a few years, but it felt a little smoother than what I remember from that, and the UI was pretty good as well. So in terms of that, I thought it played pretty well. I don't know that it's got the number of players to scale up to what they want it to be the big 300-player battles with all sorts of chaos and whatever going on. But just in terms of like the basic impressions of gameplay, I thought it was all right, at least for an early access, very early mode of the game.
Yeah, and that's important to note because even when it launched back in March, it only launched with these 2 modes, and they did mention other modes that were going to be coming that might be more than just the classic deathmatch that you were describing, just go kill everybody. So we may see other modes in the future when this launches in 2020, but for right now, it's just those 2 modes. Ultimately, Jason, I know you're going to check it out for the first look and everything, but let's say you weren't doing the first look for this. Is there enough in that one dabble that you want to play again? You want to give it more of a shot. You want to go see more about it. Did it give you a little bit? Did it get its claws in you a little bit and make you want to learn more at least?
Putting aside my general dislike of Daybreak in general.
Yes.
If not for
Set that aside.
If not for that, yeah, I'd give it at least like 4 or 5 matches just to feel how it is. I played for a few minutes, ran around, grabbed a few things, got in a vehicle with an ally, and then we got blown up. So I need to play more than that to see, to get a really good impression of it. See, I'd at least give it a few matches to see how it plays, see what I think of like the mods and all that sort of thing, and how much of an effect I think they have. But if I were to guess, I would say it probably would not be a long-term appeal to me. It is. It's just a little too battle royale-y. It's just like it is PlanetSide 2 battle royale at the moment. Now, like you said, months down the line, maybe they're going to change it. Maybe then it'll be something worth looking at. But for now, I'm sort of ambivalent about it.
Q, I know right away this is not one you're going to be jumping into. You've had no interest in this game from the beginning. I don't think anything that's happened now has changed that, right?
No. Actually, when Jason posted the whole thing in chat, like, oh, it's free to play, I had to sit and think for a minute, going, wait, why is he so surprised by it? Like, I honestly had to sit and think about it. So
it is one that I will check out. I don't anticipate being drawn or sucked into it, although the cycle surprised me, which is something that is still installed on my computer, and I still dabble in, so maybe this will get its claws in me too. We'll see. I'm just happy that today I'm wearing a blue shirt, and it is blue on the camera. So
there's pattern too.
Yes, I know, right?
Blue shirt.
Right. All right, moving on. Let's go to another shooter, one that I actually did enjoy up until a point, and I still hope can be saved, but I don't know if it can, and that is Anthem. And you might be asking, why are we talking about Anthem on this show? You didn't see any news that it went free to play, and it didn't, but it almost did. It's like this close, gang. It's this close to being free to play. So now Anthem has been added to EA's, what is it? They're like free pass.
EA Access.
EA
Origin
Access, yeah, Origin Access. So if you have that subscription, which is just a mere $5 a month, it gets you access to all those, all kinds of games and shit like that. Anthem is on there, and you can play it as much as you want, full version of the game, as part of your membership, which means that $5 you're spending per month isn't even going towards an Anthem purchase. It's just going like it's your Netflix sub, except for EA Origin games. I don't think this is a good sign for this title, Q, 7 months after it launched.
No. And of course the upside, I guess, for them is that if you unsub, you no longer have access to the game. So it's technically not free.
Right.
But otherwise, it's just, probably not the best thing that could have happened for it. I mean, as far as like the staying a pay to play game, but or the buy to play game, but it might be the best thing for the game overall in the end.
Jason, I mean, I can't decide. Like, was this done because Anthem is in such bad shape that it needs the player base, which, setting aside all jokes, it definitely needs help in the player base department. But was this metaphorical trigger pulled because the player base is in such a bad state that they need more players for it? Or is it a combination of, hey, we'd like to get this in front of more eyes, and you know what? This might move EA passes if we put a big named AAA title that we just came out with a few months ago as part of this. People may be more willing to shell out $5 per month than to go to the store and take a shot on a game that they've been hearing mixed press about. Is it more a combination of those two, or is it just because of how poorly Anthem may be doing and is definitely perceived to be doing?
Yeah, I think it is kind of a combination, because it did just have a big update like a couple weeks ago. So they definitely want to make it more obvious to people, more visible.
Yeah, the Cataclysm update, which that actually ends shortly, and they've announced that they're not going to do content like that anymore. They're going into an entirely different content delivery method. So.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little difficult to figure out exactly what they're trying to accomplish here, or if they can even accomplish anything with this method. Sure, it's nice to get more people into your game. But unless the game is better than it was, you're not going to keep those people. You're going to get them for maybe a month or two on EA Access or Origin or whatever. And maybe they're going to stick around because they liked it or they like the other stuff as well. Maybe they'll dip into Anthem occasionally.
Right.
But yeah, long term, I just don't know this is the solution. This is not the planned end game for for this game.
For the game that was supposed to pull the Destiny and last for a decade and all that stuff. And now Destiny going free to play. We only got a couple more weeks for that. Holy shit. We're going to have like 5 first looks over the course of the next 2.5, 3 weeks.
I'll take like mid-October.
Yeah. No, I think it's from like right at the beginning of October, wasn't it? Because it was like delayed from
you're right.
September 19th, I think today actually, or Tuesday maybe, 17th. To like October 2nd, and it was really a 2-week delay, but the headlines made you think it was like a month delay. Anyway, I'll do the first look for that one. I'm already well experienced in that one. Oh, by the way, I did want to ask this. I saw on Twitter, maybe you know, maybe you don't. PlanetSide Arena, controller support on the PC, yes or no?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
I didn't get a chance to look.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is good for Anthem. Yes, it may be good for the EA Pass, but I don't think this is a good omen for Anthem, particularly because it restricts Anthem's income to in-game purchases only now. If you're accessing the game through here, you didn't pay for the box, you didn't pay for anything, no collector's edition, no standard edition, whatever. Now it's fully dependent on Jason jumping in and spending some money in-game, and I was just never enticed to spend money in-game. I felt like, wow, you already got my $60, and I kind of feel bad that you got that.
It's time for them to crank up the cash up so they get more from that.
I mean, it could be so good, but there's just a lot of flaws in it. But the Iron Man dream is real, Q. If you want to feel like Iron Man for 2 or 3 hours, pick it up and play it. Hey, it costs you $5, and if you don't like it, there's some other game I guarantee you're going to like on your pass, so go ahead and do it. Almost free to play. So here's the prediction. Does it stay here, or does it ever come out of there now and go fully free to play, Q? What are your thoughts?
I would think at some point it's probably going to go free to play, but it would basically depend on how much money I guess it ends up making for them in the long run using that system.
Let me make an addendum to that question. Does it stay in here, or does it come out and go free to play at some point, or does it just die?
Ouch.
Because I think, we're dealing with EA. We are dealing with a lot of money sunk into this thing, and there's the whole adage of how long do you throw good money after bad money. At a certain point, you got to cut your losses. Does free-to-play really save you? I don't know. I don't know. I don't see the numbers, but I'd love to.
Free-to-play only saves you if you've got people spending a lot of money on other stuff in-game, so...
Jason, your thoughts? Which way it goes?
Yeah, I made a reference to Star Wars Old Republic in this. I said if Access had been around in 2012, would that have gone free-to-play, or would it have just been shoved in there? And I think Anthem might be the same way. I think it's not going to necessarily come out. I think because what's the point of this? You might as well get those few bucks from people playing in Origin and getting their $5 a month, and they'll probably think that's essentially free anyway. And then you toss out a few more microtransactions, you'll get what you want. I don't really think it's going to.
Yeah,
going to leave that and go free to play.
I don't think
it'll shut down either. I think they'll keep milking it for at least that much.
Now there, I might disagree with you a little bit. I think. It stays in here. I don't see a fully free-to-play Anthem anytime soon now, that it's tucked behind a mere $5 a month that gets you access to so many other things besides Anthem. That's a hard argument to make, to take it out of there once you've put it in there. But I don't know exactly how stable this is going to be as far as running for a long period of time. I think the ice is getting pretty thin under the game. And EA... They don't like thin ice. Before we move over to the bombs and the questions of the week, holy shit. It's like every MMO, every free-to-play game out there was launched in September for all of time. Because we have birthdays galore, and we're not going to go into huge details. We'll give you some of the stuff about the events. I picked a few of them just because I know some of us on the panel like certain ones. Let's start, Q. We'll start with you, Ion. How old are they turning? What's going on?
They're turning 10, which all of these birthdays just continue to make me feel older and older, I swear to God. But they're turning 10, and they're doing their general kind of celebration-y thingies. There's cake. Of course, there's cake, and the cake gives you buffs, 200% XP buff and a 50% higher drop rate. There's robots, which I think might be new. I don't, it's been a long time since I've done birthdays in Ion, so I'm not really sure. But there's robots issuing some stuff and just, general goodies and dungeon rewards and, which really dungeons and stuff are all you have to do in Ion at this point. So go figure.
Ion is 10. Wow. Holy hell.
Right?
That does make me feel old. I remember...
My baby grew up.
Yeah, I remember getting my copy in the mail.
Ion was the first game I got. That was like a couple weeks after I started at Beckett, and that was like the first game I got like as a comp game. So
Funny thing, I traded in my Wii to get the Ion Collector's Edition.
Oh.
Do you still have it?
Sort of. It's down with Barney, which means I may never see it again.
Ah, got you. Jason, on to you. World of Warships is aging.
Yeah, it's 4 years old now. So in a few more years, it'll be older than World War II, which it's mostly based on. But they're doing. They had a new update this week. A bunch of new gifts for players. You get super containers when you win with a high tier ship. You can earn other stuff. Long chain of missions like they usually have to let you get all sorts of stuff, including premium ships at the end of it all. A couple new battleships, and what else? There's a stream tomorrow, Friday. Woo! Official live stream. They're going to give away stuff and things, I guess.
Now, they just had some sort of wargaming celebration, right? And I remember seeing the presser, and I saw you commented on Skype later that same day. We both thought the same thing when we read the presser. It's great minds think alike type moment. Like, they boasted like 250,000 people there, and I was kind of like, Pix or GTFO, because there's no way that is true. And then they were like, okay, here's Pix. So what the hell was that all about?
Yeah, so the picture we've got on the top of this article is like the central square of Minsk, the capital of Belarus, which is where they're headquartered. And yeah, I'd say that's about 250,000 people. It is packed there. Just unbelievable how many people they get at this place.
Now,
but
this
yeah,
was
it
for like all their games. This was like Wargaming Con type thing.
Yeah, but it was much more of a tank. It was actually technically called Wargaming Fest Tanker Day. So it definitely was more tiered towards tanks. They had the best thing I learned is that one of the entertainment, they had 120 entertainment zones, they called them, including one set off by the Belarus Armed Forces, where fans could take selfies with real-life tanks, including the one used by the National Tank Biathlon Team. Apparently there's a tank biathlon.
Who knew?
Okay, whatever. But yeah, they had all sorts of stuff there. And they had The Offspring, because why not? The old band, The Offspring.
I like how you felt the need to describe what The Offspring was.
Well, when you have people grouped together like that, it's really hard to keep them separated.
Oh, jeez.
And The Offspring is actually going to be performing. I think they actually are.
In-game.
They are in-game from September 18th to October 7th, which you can view
They're
in the
just
garage.
like up on a hill while the tanks roll by and do their thing.
No, it's in the garage. So it's while you're parked and you're just sitting on your tank, just reclining like, yeah.
I think it'd be much...
So it's not the whole concert thing like they've been doing.
In Fortnite? No.
All right, on to Gamigo, who's cheating. You're cheating, Gamigo. This is not fair. This doesn't really count. But Gamigo is celebrating 2 birthdays. One for a title that's theirs and one for a title that just recently became theirs. That's why this is cheating. You don't get to say 2 birthdays. Twin Saga's turning 3, Arcage turning 5. Feeling old on that one. And in Twin Saga, some cutesy hide-and-seek stuff. So go have some fun with the in-game events. On the Arcade side, there's a hashtag competition. If you make a video or a stream or a tweet or whatever, and you use hashtag #CelebrateArcade in the tweet there, you could win either a copy of Arcade Unchained for free or one of the packs if you're going to stick with the free-to-play version of the game, which I thought was like a nice little touch. Hey, if you play the free one, you want to stick here, we'll give you this. If you want to check out the new one, we'll give you this too. I thought that was a nice little touch. But Gamigo, you don't get to claim 2 birthdays when you just took over this game like 2 months ago. That doesn't count. But 3 and 5 respectively. Back to bigger ones, Q, and a game that's bringing out a new hardcover lore book for those that are interested. I might occasionally purchase some of those. So I don't know, maybe. League of Legends.
Yeah, they're turning 10 too. Not
Old.
as
Final
well.
Fantasy 10 too.
10-2, X2.
I mean, they do have a girl band in the game, so I mean, they kind of it's like 10 too.
Yeah, well, yeah. But yeah, so they're kicking off. They haven't detailed everything they're going to be doing. There's going to be like a lengthy celebration, but on October 15th they'll start off with a live stream and look back at all their favorite moments over the last decade. Offer a sneak peek at what's to come. Yada yada yada. Oh, and they changed their logo, and people are not pleased.
Yeah, they kind of just like threw it in there. There was by the way, new logo.
It's not attractive.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up here. Give me one.
It's not quite the crappy like Asian game font that I'm always mad at, but it is kind of boring.
Well, see, it keeps some of the elements of the original logo, the little things that come off the L's and stuff, but yeah.
In the background there, and I know that's not part of the official logo and everything. We're looking more at the words, but the background that they chose, I know who that is, but it really looks like Elsa. It really, that's like that angle, that particular drawing, the way she's like, I'm like, oh, let it go. That's where my mind went. I don't know. Also turning 10, I'm going to skip one right now, but also turning 10Q, we'll let you go with this one, Champions Online, and they're actually having what I think is a pretty cool contest and a fitting one for the type of game Champions Online is.
Yeah, this actually amused me, and the contest too, they're turning 10, but the contest is being held by Top 10. Which, okay. And it's a costume contest, which I mean superheroes, costumes, that goes together, right? But the theme is 10. So you could either celebrate the fact that it's 10 years of champion or just something involving the number 10. And I guess it's probably going to end up with a lot of people trying to cobble together 10 things. I have no idea how this is going to work out in the end because it's such a vague theme for a costume party. But they'll have three top winners, and then runners up, and the top winners get a gold costume voucher, a purple foil costume box voucher, contest special item vouchers, and 2 dev tokens, and then the runners up get a smaller collection of stuff pulled from that. So, and everybody who attends this party gets a judge emote. So there's that.
It looks like this.
No, it's the. No, hold up the little the placard.
This is me judging. Jason, do you really care that Ring of Elysium turned 1? It feels like such a baby out of the group.
I mean, I kind of care because I played that game a little bit when it came out. I kind of liked it. It was an okay as like a alternative to like a realistic kind of battle royale if you're not into PUBG or want something a little more free.
It's turned 1. And they really didn't detail their events. They just said there's going to be some. We'll let you know.
You know what, though? I think now surviving a whole year is actually a lot of games.
There's something to that. And at least, you complain about the other thing, but at least they're not saying, what I hate are games that celebrate, here's our 1 year early access launch. And now there's the 1 year of our real launch. Yeah.
It's like when my daughter, I'm 12 and a half. Shut up. You're 12. Let's slide over to the weekly bombs. I'll go first. I'm going to give a dub bomb to Blade and Soul's new Zen Archer class. It's very balance-like oriented, and I like that kind of stuff. I liked Red Mage in Final Fantasy XIV, where the light and dark and balancing that stuff. I like classes like that, and so kudos to you, Blade and Soul, and the Zen Archer class. Go ahead, Q.
I'm going to give a dub bomb to the MMO Birthday season. Just because it gives everybody something to do for at least a little while. But at the same time, I'm giving them an A-bomb because I get really, really tired of writing, hey, it's somebody's birthday 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, it's really weird, too. Like, we get them throughout the year, but just like the last week was just every other presser I got was something's turning 6 and 10, and holy hell. Everything releases in September. Jason, go ahead.
I'll give a dub bomb to the new Guild Wars 2 update. Just went live this week. Bound by Blood, the prologue to the Ice Brood chapter story, which is not actually the real first chapter, just the prologue. I got a preview of it last week. Got to play around in it for a little while. A lot of fun. A lot of different kind of things in there, especially the Char concert, which we actually got many members of the press got a poster mailed to us.
That's kind of cute.
Go there.
Very nice.
But yeah, there's that. There's a lot of other events in there as well. I detail a few of the bigger ones that were in there, and I'm also hearing. Not only did I find it positive, I'm hearing generally a lot of good response.
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
So.
Jason wrote up his previews thoughts on MMO Bomb. Go check the article out. But that's what I was going to ask you. I know you liked it or are generally pleased by some of the things, but how's it overall being received?
Yeah, I've not heard really any negative things about it, which is a little odd for how some Guild Wars 2 updates have been dealt with in the past. And it makes me think too, like the last one they did, which was the culmination of their last chapter big thing, that came out like 2 months after they had the layoffs. So, they couldn't have done anything about that one.
Yeah.
This one, it's been like 6 months or so. So if they wanted to change some things around to try and get a new approach or whatever, they could have done it here. So maybe there is a bit more of a new direction coming at this point and going forward, hopefully.
You still want an expansion?
I don't really care that much.
From the viewers, Hydrex Sky Shadow says, A-Bomb and Dub-Bomb to daily login rewards. I'm with you on this one. I like them and hate them. I know where you're coming from. I don't even need to read the rest of this. But I will. Look, I need to explain. I like them. It makes me log in every day, just so I can get some random stuff that's more or less useless. But here's my problem. I log in every day. I need my dailies. I have about 20 games that I log into every day. But I haven't played them in over a year, for F's sake. I have only 900 days logged in Warframe. I haven't even left my ship in the last year or so. I know. I have a problem. Yeah, you might have a little bit of a problem there, buddy, but I am right there with you in my love-hate relationship with daily login rewards. It starts to feel like a chore. Like, oh, shit, I gotta log in and grab my tchotchkes. Go ahead, Jason.
I wrote an article about that. I think it was about Guild Wars 2 back before it was free to play when I was on MMORPG.com. I wrote an article about basically the same thing. Like, I like them, but I kind of hate them too, so. Guza, sounds like a first time writer. Thank you, Guza. Says, I don't understand why people are complaining whenever a new MMORPG comes out that it doesn't do anything new when WoW Classic has shown that people don't want anything new. They want the old school MMORPGs.
I think this comes from us talking about Eternal Magic, and actually I kind of thought I was pretty positive on the game, pointing out that it doesn't do anything new, but that might not be a bad thing. The thing that I do find unfortunate, at least from Eternal Magic's launch, Guza, is that it launched right when WoW Classic launched. So if you wanted an old school feel, you just went there. To your point, unfortunate timing.
And that's the.
Okay. I think there is something to be said for how long is that going to be what people want. I don't know. Do you see WoW Classic as big as it is right now, 9 months from now, a year from now? I don't know if I do.
Yeah, and the other issue is, of course, that if WoW Classic is around and this is doing everything that you want, and some other MMO comes out that doesn't do anything new, why do you play that game?
Yeah.
Stick with WoW. That's the thing. That's I go all the way back to my CCG days. It's like, well, here's a new CCG, plays exactly like Magic. Okay, why should I play this and not Magic?
Right.
Because it has Star Trek in it or whatever.
Well, I like
all they had.
I like your thought, Guza. In fact, I'm going to make it the question of the week down below. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Q, go ahead, take the next one.
Rusi, thanks for giving your thoughts about Eternal Magic. I will give it a try when it comes. Freshly released MMOs are fun to play for a month at least. And there is that.
There it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Bits Turn Bite says the reason KFC is coming out with that dating game is due to Japan.
Japan.
The Japanese are obsessed with KFC.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Not that the Japanese are obsessed with dating sims. The Japanese are obsessed with KFC. That's kind of like, that is a marriage made in heaven for like a Japanese subculture, a dating game and KFC. Mwah, right there. Bits Turn Bite, my only comment to you is, why aren't you obsessed with KFC? Because KFC is some good shit.
Exists.
KFC. Hey, man, don't don't betray the potato bowls. We've talked about this, Q. We know we both love them. Go ahead, Jason.
That Harv guy says, the bomb to Logitech's white balance. It doubles the shirt colors for Magicman by removing the purple from Twitch streamers.
Good call. Go ahead, Q.
Captain Grime, I've been waiting for Caravan Stories, but I don't know how they skip an English mobile version, but go to console. I don't have a PS4 right now.
Yeah. That is a little weird that they made that jump. Oh, that got uninstalled real quick. Like they... I don't know if I should say this, but like they offered to send us some gems to like fast forward an account a little bit so that we could experience some stuff for additional coverage and stuff. And that happens a lot. You know, we'll get an offer for this or this or this. Jason and I typically take the same stance on it in, hey, yeah, fine. We're going to do a first look for your video regardless. We don't take those types of things to produce a video. And in fact, I told Caravan Stories after they offered, we decided not to do a first look video on this. But they offered us, like, I forget what it was, like 14,000 Phantasm gems, and this was after I'd already played it, decided not to do a first look and everything. And I was like, you can keep your gems, thanks, though. So there we go. Question week last week, speaking of mobile, is there a mobile game out there that's just amazing in the realm of, like, MMORPGs? And what is it? Hydrix Sky Shadow chiming in on this one, too, says, as far as MMORPGs, I have no clue if there's a good one, but a game I find extremely fun is Raid Shadow Legends. Love the graphics, love the combat, and I like collecting cool heroes. But there is a shitty part of the game, and sadly, it's how you get your heroes' loot boxes. I mean, shards. There's like a 6% chance to get a legendary hero from a legendary shard. Fun, fun, fun. Sounds like they picked up on the Marvel Heroes original model. Remember that one? Oof, that was bad. Go ahead, Jason.
Ben B says, for a mobile MMO that is amazing, I'd recommend Second Galaxy. It's basically an Eve reskin, but that's why I love it.
Holy hell, Q! Have you ever played this? It is both mobile and an Eve reskin. I'd be amazed if you hadn't.
I have not, but I'll get on that.
Go ahead, Q.
Ryan Forecast, one mobile MMORPG that has come out recently, which is a nice change of pace, is Dawn of Isles. It has really snazzy graphics and wonderful character customization, definitely at least worth a trial. Also, Second Galaxy is a new game that just launched. Quit moving things around, Mike. Which plays similar to EVE Online on mobile. It's been getting some solid press and could be worth checking out. Awesome show as always. I hope everyone has a top week. All the best.
Now I think you really got to take a look at Second Galaxy.
I guess so.
That's two.
It's also on Steam, apparently.
It's on Steam, too?
Yeah. With a 41% positive.
Maybe it's just better on mobile. Steam is kind of mean to mobile games that go to Steam, so...
Yeah, true.
Finishing it off, I thought this would be appropriate. SR Tony says, Moisty.
SR...
Question of the week this week, does a new MMORPG have to do something brand new to capture your attention anymore? Why or why not? Let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. While you're there, don't forget your weekly bombs. D-bomb for something good, A-bomb for something bad in the world of gaming, or if you just want to vent about something else, go ahead and throw it in there. Questions for the panel are always welcome, and we'll be sure to answer them on next week's show. Until that time, Q, where can everybody find you?
Chilling on Twitter at Quinlan.
Jason.
On Twitter at Winter Informal, streaming twitch.tv/JasonWinter.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally right there on Twitter at MagicMan1, but more importantly, follow at MMOBomb so we can tweet at you with all the first looks, the free-to-play cast, free-to-play weekly, interviews, giveaways, news articles, and so much more. Until next time, gang, stay safe, and we'll see you on the servers.